What's up everybody, beau-hindman back with another video. This time I wanted to talk about something, I've been meaning to do a video about this for a while. This is a experimental little model I did a couple years back. This is a 1 in 144 scale Gyan, G-Y-A-N, which is a cool gunpla model kit you can get for really cheap. This is a newer updated version. That's built a little bit better than the old version. It comes with a cool sword and a really basic shield. It's just a really basic kit that I always really liked, especially since Gyanko from Build Fighters, which is a series, animated series, her and her whole family use Gyan, whatever type model kits, and they're all kind of related to this, which is really fun. But this is one I did where I did an experiment of just using colored pencil to basically draw and illustrate kind of a musculature, kind of a look on the gunpla. There's the date of when I completed it. What I did is I flat coated everything. I love how a good flat coat works on model kits. It gives them a nice chalky kind of finish, like a chalkboard. And I was like, well, heck, I think I can draw on that. So I did it. The round areas, the kneecap, the leg, and the musculature on those big areas looks really well. But again, it was just an experiment to kind of see if you could use colored pencil on plastic, which of course you can. It's just a matter of getting it to stick and, you know, after it's done, protecting it. And then what I did is I actually used kind of shavings, colored pencil shavings and dust, and got it on my hand and just would literally wipe it over the raised areas. You're really just hitting the highlights of each edge to kind of give it a burnished kind of look. It worked pretty well. I would say that if you're ever going to try something like this, you really need to experiment first with different flat coats. I use a lot of craft ones because the craft ones tend to have kind of a chalky finish whenever they're done. You can actually buy some that turn into a chalkboard type surface. I haven't tried those on any plastic, but it's definitely worth checking out. And I've seen people get creative and use oil paints and all sorts of different stuff. I got all this kind of experience from being an artist most of my life, and I've done a lot of painting and stuff. So like I said, while this was an experiment to see if I could even get it done, it showed me the weakness of it, of course, is that if you do not have that flat coat applied pretty heavily and pretty universally, you're going to run into areas that are more glossy, and you're going to have a problem with the pencils sticking. Also, it depends on what kind of pencils you chose. In some areas, I used a watercolor type pencil, which is basically a pencil that is a solidified watercolor, and you can add the watercolor pencil and then add water on top, and that will turn it into liquid, and you can blend colors and stuff like that. I would use those because they were nice and soft and got a nice deep rich color, and I didn't add water to them. Then I would just spray them and seal them in place. Other places I used just a typical Prismacolor pencil, stuff like that, and I even used a standard, you know, like a writing pencil, soft lead type of writing pencil. It came out all right. There was a lot of areas I wasn't able to cover, so if I was to do this again, I would definitely base everything in very darkly, for very dark, very nice color, maybe even a black on every part, and then flat coat it and then draw on top of that, because that would not only give a lot of contrast to the pencils and everything, but it would also forgive areas like that are lighter, that were not covered for whatever reason. As I said, I made a lot of mistakes, got a lot of little drips here and there, but this was a really fun chance to show that, you know, you can use a lot of different things to customize or paint model kits, toys, whatever. So all you got to do is just not be afraid to use them. And don't necessarily think that you have to get an airbrush and you have to get this and you have to get that. You can have a box full of school supplies and make something that's pretty cool looking. The 1 in 144 scale HG kits from Gundam are just fantastic. They're cheap, they have tons of details. The only disadvantage to some of these kits is that you don't want to pose them too much once you get them. They're not necessarily a toy because those joints do wear down over time. Again, a lot of areas I missed and that I would like to redo, but I like to see and I like to keep any of my past experiments because it teaches me a lot about what to do next. So take it easy, everybody. Talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.